Close to home. I'm right here in the old backyard, showing you old Horace the black dog and Brittany, Robin's, well, kind of a cross with a collie there, I guess. Anyway, we built a pen for them last year, and so they get outside a little bit more. And so we're going to head on out to the pickup now and get started. This is the remains of my old garden here. A few corn stalks there. Had a nice garden last year, and we're going to head on down the driveway now. Heading up Main Street here to the stop sign on 10th. This is Memorial Hall over here on the corner, and then we're going to take a swing over here and go down Chadron Avenue. It looks to me like one of the first things I better get done is to head down to Ida Miller's and give this windshield a little wash job. I don't think we're going to be doing too good of a film job here with all the mud and dirt on the windshield. So we'll look through it for a little bit here while we go up Chadron Avenue, and then we'll get her washed. I don't know how much this stuff you're familiar with. Here's the Baptist church over here. We'll catch that sign as we go by. Over here's Vern Chicoine's duplex. That's Mrs. Wood pulling out of her driveway there. About to go past Don Ross's house up here. Don was down to see you last week. This is where he lives, right over here. If I don't run over this Cadillac. Okay, we're about to come up on the courthouse there. Over here's the coffee house. Dr. Salisbury's house. One of the railroaders lives there. I can't think of his name. This is Dr. Benor's house. Here's the Congregational Church. Take a look at it here as we go by. Head on up here to the bank corner and to Hardee's. This is Hardee's right here. You remember that? That's where you always took your wife when it was your turn to cook. Oh, policeman going by. We're going to take a right here on 3rd Street and go past Anderson's. Whip on down to Ida Miller's here and get this windshield washed so we can see a little better. Lots of traffic out today. I didn't want to tangle with this guy going by. You'll see why when you see him in the picture. Afraid he might have munched me. Alright, here we go. Hang on. Okay, here we are at the main drag. One of the Mosier twins walking across the street there, Bill, and there's the post office. Okay, hang on, here we go. The light turned green. And we're going to go up and get this windshield washed before we before we head any further. Well, maybe. We got a left turner up here that probably have us setting through another light or two the way we're going. Alright, here we go. Right through on yellow. Alright, gonna head right over here to Ida Miller's. And, get this thing washed up a little bit. Holy mackerel, there's a van right there that you ought to be familiar with. Making more tapes for Kant. And we were out seeing this weekend, and he said, I need more tapes. And so I wanted to give him a picture of the most beautiful woman in town.
Yes, you sure did.
Why don't you tell?
His only state champion's mother.
Yes. Why don't you tell him how proud you were of your son winning the state championship?
Oh, you're going to embarrass me. Are you running this thing?
Yes, I'm running it.
Hey, Bill, Judd did a great job. We're really proud of him. We wish you could have been there, though.
We took the tape out to him. He's already
watched it.
He's already watched the match, and he said he probably could have beaten that kid a lot worse if he'd have been there to help coach him.
That's probably true. We needed you.
How you doing, Mr. Kent?
We went out to see him this weekend. He's really doing well, Eugene, and he wanted some more pictures of people around town. I said, well, I'll get out and do that as soon as I get back.
Well, it's a nice day. It's nice and warm.
It
Good
sure
day to
is.
take pictures.
Yeah. Okay, Bill, here we go. We're going across the street here, trying to get out of Ida Miller's. Just a donut shop across the street where the old Mexican food place used to be. We'll try to get out here on the main drag without getting running over. Here's a guy coming up the street that you know. That's old Arnie Fankhauser, the mailman. You know, the reason they charge us so much for mail delivery is because Arnie wants to talk to you, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
There he is, old Arnie Fankhauser.
How you doing?
Well, Bill's doing really good. We were down to see him this weekend, Arnie, and gosh, he was getting along really well. And he wanted to see some more of Chadron. I made him one of these tapes, and I said, well, I'll go out and try to find something else to take a picture of. And by golly, if I didn't run into the mailman.
Here I am. Tell him to hurry up, come back so we can run that damn time clock up there. Jones can't run it.
we were just talking about that this weekend, Arnie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you tell him to get back here.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, Bill. We were just talking about running that doggone old time clock, and there was the guy that Arnie was the guy that we got to help fill in on a couple of games after you had your accident. And he and Jones had a heck of a time with that. They kind of missed you on that deal. They said they needed you to come back so that they could get her back and do it right again. Okay, here we go. Heading down 3rd Street now, past the Brothers there on the right, and we're just gonna take you for a little ride and a little tour here and see if you recognize any of this stuff. There's the doctor's offices we're going by there. Those guys have been taking good care of you. Okay, we're just speeding along here. Here's Donald's over here on the left, and the old Napa Auto Parts place right there. We're going a little faster than I probably should be driving, but lots of traffic out today. I don't want to hold them up too much. Heading on down 3rd Street. We're going to go out here and take a swing through Wallstrom's, see what the heck they're doing. Jack and Jill store over here on the right side, and up here of course is Wallstrom's. You can see the signs there for the Ford Motor Company. This is where Wally is now. You know, this is his first year of not teaching school for a long time, so he's out here trying to run this Wallstrom Ford place. I think from all the indications I get, people really think he's doing a super job. I believe Wally himself has gone down to Tampa, Florida this week for some Ford meeting, and he's down there trying to get smarter. Okay, I'm kind of bobbing around here. Hope you can follow this. Kind of hard to run this camera and talk and drive all at the same time. There's the greenhouse. Of course, Letcher, he's got more cars out here and he knows what to do with. He's still selling a lot of cars. I'm just noticing here that as we go by George's and the old bourbon room here, that there's kind of a familiar white car sitting there in front of that son of a gun. I hope I got a picture of that. This is about the first day, I think, that Keith Walton has had since the wrestling season is over with, and it looks to me like he might be out wetting his whistle just a little bit to kind of celebrate the end of the season and having a state champion and the whole thing. Probably taking a little easy. I think he had a meeting last night with the Federation parents, and so this is really the first break he's had. Okay, we're still on 3rd Street here. This is kind of a repeat, but we're going to take a right turn up here and we'll see some territory that we haven't seen before. All right, here we go, heading up old. I'll tell you, there's a house right here that's probably a little familiar to you. This is the Mullaney house right here. You remember Jane? Jane had some bad luck with cancer last year and passed away for us after being our secretary for a number of years up there. She was a lovely lady and had an awful nice family. Joe is still around town and he's getting along pretty well, but I'm sure he misses Jane. All right, we're heading west now on 2nd Street, and this is Reed's here now. He's got a bunch of cars parked out in front, Reed Chevrolet. Okay, the old meat market there. I don't know if there's anything in there or not. Chadron Machine Shop. Here we are at the propane shop on the corner. There's the old Blaine Hotel over there. Take a look at that. Looking on up here to the left, of course, is the First National Bank. See the lights flashing up here at Herman's. Okay, I don't know if I can get the flags there or not here on the Flag Plaza. You know, we had that renovation project down here, and they fly those flags down here every day now. Makes kind of a nice sight. They need to do a little gardening down here and get some flowers growing in some of those places. Here's Freed's over here on the left. Sears store, Sheldon McCance's folks run that. They're talking about the possibility of buying a golf course down in Texas, so I don't know how much longer they might be around. One of your old wrestlers running this place now. That's the Bailey Goodyear. Chadron Record over here on the right, and I think you kind of know. Where this street leads to. We're going to head on down here and see if old Orange is at home. I know that you have to miss that pickup. My gosh, it's looking a little bleak up here. I think old Orange maybe lost a little air in his tires, and he's having kind of a tough time keeping his nose up there. I'm going to stop up here and get out and do another little shot around the house here for you, Bill. And the old hoopy now, and I'm giving you a little shot of the old orange pickup here. And of course the house there in the background, you're familiar with that baby. But it's probably always good to see it again since you haven't been here for a while. We got just a little snow on the ground, as you can see. I'm going to walk on around here and let you have a look at this from another angle, Phil. We're looking up the street now towards the Pizza Hut, and this is old Phil Carey's pickup up there, and of course the front of the Kant residence right here. I don't know if anybody's here right now or not. I don't know if the kids are around. If I could get a picture of them in a little bit, I will. Okay. I don't know. We can zoom in there far enough to check the finish work on some of this siding around these windows or not. See whether the guy that put this all on here did a good job or not. Looks to me like all those joints are pretty tight. There's that new bay window you put in. Okay, Bill, I'm around and back now. This is a picture of your camper sitting here. You can see there isn't any tracks leading in and out of here. This thing hadn't been out of here for a while, but I'm sure that you get home this summer that you'll have an opportunity to take that thing out and do a little camping with Kathy and Willie and Kenny. I'm sure they're anxious to go. Maybe John, being stationed in Denver, will have a chance to come home and do a little camping with you too. Okay, Bill, this is back right in front of the house. Zoom back in here. I thought maybe there might be somebody at home here. I went up to check, but there wasn't anybody inside, and so I won't be able to get in today. I thought I might even slip in there and take some pictures inside, but since everybody's gone, I'll have to do that another time. But anyway, that's what the old hoopy looks like here, and take a look around here at some of the areas around you. I see the house across the street from you is for sale. I don't know if Jumpin' Joe still owns that house or not. This is just kind of doing a little panorama around the front of your place here. Now we're looking south again and up towards Mr. Carey's house, and there's Cliff Hanson's house right next door to you. We're going to go back over and get in the pickup now and get into some other territories that you haven't seen. Going again, and we're heading west on 2nd Street. Heading up here past the old funeral home. A few years back, people were just dying to get in that place, Bill. I guess maybe they still would be today, but they moved it. Okay. I don't know who lives in these houses along here. I think Mary Ann Bentley owns one of these in this area here. We're up in here behind the new grocery cart store and the Pine Oak Vista low rent housing or whatever Mr. Koza built over here. Gonna swing down here past the old Chapel Trailer Court, and this over here is the side of the grocery cart, the new grocery store. Okay, here's the back of Charlie's. Heading in here. A Westerner Motel over here on our left, and of course the Ross transfer trucks. I think you can see those trucks on down the line there, down at Ross Transfer. I'll zoom in there on that sign. Yeah, there's one of Ross's trucks. Okay, I'm gonna head you out on the highway here, Bill, and we're going right past Charlie's place over here on the right, and Super 8 Motel, of course, is down here, and Helen's Restaurant also down here on the right. There's the Grand Motel. heading out here towards Bauer Campers and of course Taco John. I don't know how this camera's going to handle that bright sun that we're driving into right now. Hopefully it'll adjust to that. Okay. Here's the veterinarian's office, Realty World, the old West 20 restaurant, and the truck stop out here. I'm going to swing in here and try to turn around. And Kurt Scholl just passed me on the, as I was turning off here. He looked like he looked at me like maybe I was going crazy, talking to myself in here. He doesn't know I'm talking to you. There's the Rhine Brothers Equipment Company up there. I'll give you a little, if I can stop here a little bit, I'll give you a little zoom in up there. You may or may not remember or know that old George Rhine left town. He moved out to Moscow, Idaho, and then I think he went across the river over there to some town in Washington and is now working at a John Deere place out in the state of Washington. They had a tough time financially there with the machinery business being kind of slow, and several families trying to make a living out of that place, and so George decided that he would pull out and try to make a living elsewhere. Kind of a good old guy. His daughter played golf for me and was doing a pretty good job, but she moved on out, and of course we're going to have to do without her, whether we like it or not. Okay, here's the Economy 9 motel. That's the newest motel in Chadron. You probably remember that going up. And of course Northwest Implements right up here with Rob Harvey. Colleen was the good old gal that recorded the state wrestling tournament for you, and we were able to get that tape down to you last week when we were down there visiting. Okay, heading on up here to Ida Miller's. They've changed this considerably in the last year or so, you know, setting up that quick shop in here and so on, and they really seem to be doing a booming business out here. I think that was a good idea to make that change. Okay, on up past the Westerner Motel and the new Chamber of Commerce building right there that we got put up last summer. I'm going to head up here and get off of this main drag. We've seen about enough of this. Maybe we can spot some other familiar things down here that give you a chance to look around just a little. Okay, this is Maple Street now as we head south here. This is the corner where Charlie Shumway's trailer is right there. If I get this thing woed up. This is where one of my golfers lives, right here on the corner. She's done Bud Larson's granddaughter. You know her, done a good job for us. I'd tell you her name, Bill, but it's slipping my mind right now. Isn't that something? I want so bad to tell you what her name is, and Jennifer Stotts is her name. And holy mackerel, I couldn't think of it. Here's Walt Montag's house, left there. Okay, we're still heading up the street, going south. Here's the state shed there on the left. Plumber Dow's house there. On the corner here's where Mary Lou lives in that apartment house, and that's Chuck Cressy's house on the corner there. That's Chuck Cressy's big camper over here on the right. Jack Swanson's house that we're passing right there. Okay. And this is the old Cemetery Hill. We're heading up here. We're just about up here to 10th Street. And I think I'm gonna take you for a trip right on out South Maple here. See what might be going on out there. This is the old Dennis place here. He's moved on up the road there a ways. I think his wife, I see that house is for sale too. Okay. On up South Maple and see what's happening out here. I hope that if nothing else, this will give you a chance to take a look at some of these places that I'm sure are familiar to you, but you haven't seen them for a while, and so we'll just give you a little fly-by picture here, and probably some of these houses you'll recognize as we go by. I believe this big house up here on the corner is the one that Nash has bought. She married the guy from up at the college, Noel Gray. Remember, I guess she teaches with you over there. Heck yes, you know about that. This is heading on out past George French's place there on the corner. You remember, well, do you remember? You know old Doug, he even did a little wrestling for you, I think, these last couple of years. I'm going to pull in here. This is kind of a rough old road. Probably the noise is going to be more than we can handle. Pull into old John Schomer's place here and turn around. Got this thing cranked back on again, Bill, and we're heading back north now on Maple Street, and you can see the Chadron waterworks that are up on the hill. We're going to head on down this street here and down, take in a little of the college maybe. This is the house up here on the right that you see now. That's the one that Mike Coffey built. He's sold that now. I believe he sold it to Harford's, the attorney that came back to town. You remember he and his wife go to our church. It's here's Pony Park. We're heading by now on Maple Street. And a beautiful panoramic view of a bunch of cedar trees. There's Dale Engelhop ahead of us in that little bug. His boys went to school. I believe their last one's a senior this year. Okay, heading east on 10th Street. Going by Pony Park and in here where the chief of police, Vastine, lives. Heading on down here to married student housing up at the college. Here's old Tom Detwater walking up the street, Bill. I'm going to just flash by him here pretty fast, but that's who that was. He's walking home after working at school today. I'll take a swing up the back lot here through the college, and maybe we can zero in on some good-looking college chicks up here that are. Doesn't look like there's any out. Some again. We're over here where all the kids are running around now. Here's some taking out the garbage for Mom, being good guys. kind of swing back and give you a little shot of old Sea Hill back up there. Let's swing around here and take a look at the activity center there. That's a good shot of that. We're coming in from the west side of it. Gives you an idea just how big that thing is. Okay. I think most of the students have pretty much disappeared here tonight. Their classes are pretty much over with. It's along about 5 o'clock. Old sun's heading down behind the clouds too. Okay, here we go up the hill past the activity center. We'll take a swing up here and through the parking lot. There's Sea Hill right straight ahead of us. The sea is kind of covered with snow. It's a little hard to see up there. Okay. Here we are at the back of the activity center. Now we're just in the parking lot swinging by it now. You can see the football stadium up here. And we'll be heading on down the gravel here now and heading on down and taking a look at Armstrong Gym, where we had the Chadron Invitational Wrestling match again this year, and of course named after my good old neighbor that lives behind me, Ross Armstrong. You've known him for more years than I have, but he's really a good old neighbor, I'll tell you that. He just had his 84th birthday in February, and we had Ross over for supper again, as we do most every Sunday night. Always have a nice visit with him and talk about the good old days. Okay. There's the National Guard Armory as we come out from behind Armstrong Gym here now. We get a good shot of that. Even a few of the old pieces of Army equipment out there behind there. I don't know what those are, some kind of a half-track of some kind. Here's a shot of the high-rise, Bill, as we're coming out. We're headed north now, so this is really the south side of the high-rise that you're looking at. And this huge pile of dirt out here that you can see is the dirt that they've hauled in order to compact the soil so that they can build a new student center in this area. This used to be the street that came up here and in front of Armstrong, and they've closed it down, and now they're going to build a new student center here, and so that's going to be quite a project when they undertake that. That dirt that you see here in this huge pile, I'm gonna give you a little better shot of that, Bill, and open the window here, get this thing moved over here. As you look at this huge pile of dirt, it goes all the way from down here at the dorms all the way almost over to the library that you see over there in the background. You can see that it's going to be quite a new student center. That little roof that you see right about there, just sticking up over the top of the dirt pile, is the top of the old student center. And of course half of that has been torn down now. The south half of that's been torn out, and they're going to replace this, and once they get this new one built, then they're going to tear down that other part too, the part that has the bookstore in it and so on. Okay, now we're going to head on down the street here up towards the old Burkheiser building, past the science building, and I'm going to show you where all this dirt came from. There's a huge hole down here just to the north of Burkheiser, right between Burkheiser and 10th Street, where they hauled all this dirt out of. Now, it's my understanding that dirt is not all going to stay there, that they're going to come in and haul a lot of it back out. And I don't know if they're going to take it back over here and put it in this hole over here or not. But you can see on our right down here where much of this dirt came from. We might even be able to catch it a little better as we swing around and go up 10th Street past the high school. You can see the auditorium roof there and the high school in the background, and of course taking a shot on across the football practice area, and you see the East Ward and the junior high way on down there. Okay, a little traffic here we had to wait for. Now we're going to turn east on 10th Street again. And here's that big hole I was telling you about over here on the right, where all of that dirt came from that we saw piled up there that they're going to use for compaction before they build that new student center building up there. I may have called that an activity center before, that new student center building. Okay. All right, we're heading up 10th Street now, and here's some lovely young lady out jogging a bit. Heading up past Christy Ritterbush's house there, the big tall two-story house. That's one that Eisenhower built. Christy has that for sale right now. Here's Rhonda Olson's place up here, and of course the green one up here is Bob Lowry's place. Bible Baptist Church over here on the right. And now we're heading on down Ridgeview Drive and up in the high rent district. You see Rod Fleeman's house over there, and next to that, of course, is Coe's. And Bill Giesler's house right up here in the near side. Next one there is Wallstrom's house, and across the street there in the background is Doc Hanlon and Jerry Johnson, the banker. You remember Jerry and his wife Lois. Their daughter Lori teaches for us. This is Dick Meyer's house right here that we're going by. And on the corner here, the white one with the green shutters is Bill Taylor. Okay. Now we're going to take a swing on to 6th Street. Head past the church here. And of course over here on the left side is Bob and Dee Bren's place. You remember their boy wrestled for you and did an excellent job. Mr. Wild's place there, the realtor. Dewing's house on the corner there. Over here where Holmes used to live, Mark Gobel's dad Ben and his wife purchased that home house. And now we're heading on down 6th Street here a little further, and we're coming to Dr. Wasserberger's house. He's the optometrist downtown. You remember him? We have some of his daughters in school. And we're going to take just a little shot here at the middle school down there. You can certainly see it. Spent a lot of hours in that place, whether we wanted to or not, haven't we? Okay, there's the old Chadron City Schools bus sitting there. That's the one that we've taken out of service, and we're trying to sell it. Be something good for you to buy, and you could fix that up and take it camping in the summertime. Kenny could learn to drive that. You and Kathy could just run around and chase one another around the back. Okay, here we are going by the middle school. I think that's old Mark Rutter's pickup sitting there. He must be working a little late tonight. I'm going to take a, holy mackerel, if I can hold this camera steady, take a right here and go past Heil Getzmeyer's house. Heil's one of your old card playing buddies. I see Yoakum's service truck is sitting in front of his house. He must be having a little trouble with his furnace or some heating or something going on there. Ruth probably took a swing at him and missed him and hit the thermostat or something, and now they're going to have to get it fixed. Okay, well, Bill, let's see here. I guess we're just going to hit her. I'll tell you what, my shoulder's just about to kill me from holding this camera up here for this time. But anyway, here we go. We're heading straight down, straight north now. You can see the some railroad cars down there on the track just straight on north of us here. We're going to just drive down there and take a look at that. I want to make sure that I haven't missed anything, Bill. By golly, you know, I know it's been quite a while since you've been back here, and it's probably kind of interesting to see some of these places again and try to recall everything that you're seeing. It's when you're away from it for a while, it's easy to forget where some of these places are, and so I guess that's what we're trying to do here, is give you a chance to look at some of this stuff again. I kind of enjoy talking to you too, you know. I know you can't talk back. That's probably why I enjoy it so much, because you can't say anything back. I can just say anything I want to, and you're going to have to take it. All right. We're heading east now on 2nd Street again. We're crossing Chapin right now. And we're heading up towards the Boland Distributing, or the old Boland Distributing. You know, that place is sold, and I can't tell you for the life of me who in the heck bought it, but anyway, I'm sure you remember it as Boland Distributing, and that's where we're headed. Well, there it is on the sign, for crying out loud, Micros Distributing Company, and I guess if you can read, well, you can tell what the heck that is. I didn't realize that sign was there. Okay, turning north again now, and heading past the light beer truck here. Here's the Chadron wholesale building. This is where our student council gets all their candy and popcorn and all that sort of thing. And now we're just kind of taking a little panoramic shot down there. You can see all the cars on the train track down here. It's hard to believe that the railroad is wanting to shut down with all the cars they have in there right now. Way across the way over there, Bill, you can see the white building in the background over there. Let's see if that's gonna come into focus. It's kind of out of focus, isn't it? A little better. Anyway, that's the sale barn over there, Bill, and way over to the north side there. We'll maybe take a swing up there past Kenwood and take a look at some of that stuff up there in just a little bit. We're going to head down, let's see, I think this has got to be 1st Street. And, we'll head on down towards Main again now. Get back on the highway where we don't have all that rattling noise. Okay, we're coming on the old deluxe cleaner building down here on the left side. That's where Wayne has Susie slaving every day. He takes her down there and chains her up to that steam iron down there, and he makes her press clothes all day. And I don't know what he does with all the money they make down there, but you can bet that Susie doesn't get any of it, and Wayne has spent an awful lot of it foolishly. He's had her down there tied to that steam table for so long. I think Susie only weighs 98 pounds now. She's just absolutely down to nothing. She sweats down there every day from morning till night. He treats her just about as bad as he does some of us teachers up there at school. It's just kind of a slave factory. Now we're going by the mill down here, Bill, on First Street. There's the old Chadron elevator. I think that's Pete Peterson's. You remember Pete? This is the Goff mill down here. I believe it's Goff that own this now. There's a bunch of trucks pulled in there, it looks like, getting some feed. Alright. I'm going to swing you over into to Kenwood now. We're on North Pine Street now. That's the last one down here on the west side of Kenwood. There's old Jim Regan in that pickup. I don't know if you had a chance to see him or not. I didn't know who it was as we were going by. I'm going to head on up here into Kenwood. There's the Hills Materials concrete place. That's the one that Keith Richmond runs. You remember Keith? His wife works for the school. She's a special ed assistant for Mary Ann Bentley. Okay, we're gonna take a swing now over here on West Niobrara Avenue. We're headed east on Niobrara Street. We're gonna over here a block or two and head up and take a look at the old Kenwood School. I believe Kenny and Willie are going to Eastward now. They used to go to school over here at Kenwood, so they can probably just point out to you which window they used to have their classroom in over here if they get a chance to look at this with you. Well, they're sure a couple of nice kids, Bill. I'll tell you, you can be proud of that Kenny and Willie. They really have done a lot of things to help Kathy. Well, you've been recovering, and I know now they're doing an awful lot of things to help you. They just really help out at home, and I know they're helping Grandma and Grandpa. Mr. Ross says they're getting along really well in school, and they're working really hard to make up for the time that they get to go out to Denver and see you, and of course help you out there. And I know that Kathy's working hard to help keep up with their schoolwork. But there's the old Kenwood School. We put a new fence around here this year. I can't remember just when old Jones and German put that up, and they put that around there in order to keep the balls and so forth from rolling out in the street and causing kids troubles and subjecting them to the dangers of accidents on the street and so on. And so that fence is a little project that we just got completed this last summer. Here's Larry Croker's old house on the corner. I don't know who bought that from Larry. All I can remember is that I think Larry and Charlene built that. Okay, here we are heading now down towards the Ball Diamonds and Fitzgibbons Field. Remember old Fitz? He's contributed just thousands and thousands and thousands of hours to this Chadron baseball program, and you can see the sign right over there. That I'll zoom in on that son of a gun if I can hit her for you. Come on, I can't get that to focus a little better. Anyway, that's the Fitzgibbons Field sign there, and whether my autofocus isn't getting enough light or what. Okay, here we go. heading south on heading south on Main Street, that's right. There's Denny Blundell's place, and his old glass truck sitting out there, and a load of wood out in front. Heading on south now. We're going to head down here to the new railroad building. There it is right there. That sun's shining kind of bright again. There's the new railroad offices. After they got that all built, there's been an awful lot of talk about many of the guys being pulled out of Chadron, that the railroad is going to fold up their tent and head elsewhere. We're disappointed to hear that, but nevertheless, I guess every company's got to do what it's got to do. Okay. Here's another shot of Susie Jones's deluxe cleaners, and and here's the Legion Club right here. Okay, Bill, we're heading on up the street now. This is the Blaine Motel here on the corner, and looks like the old street lights just popped on. We're going to head on up Bordeaux Street here and up past the Elks Club. There's old Bob Lowry's Bronco sitting out there. I don't recognize any of these other cars right here. We'll wait here for the traffic a little bit, and then we're going to head on across on Bordeaux Street. Head on up here past the phone company. Carl Larson's second home right here. Episcopal Church over here on the left side. Back over here, a shot of the public library. You see a few of the lights in the window there. Okay, across 6th Street. A little snow on this Bordeaux Street here in the shady spots. Hasn't melted very good yet. Streets are all nice and clear. Okay. Head on up here to Coach Thompson's Corner. Randy and Lori Bauer, of course, live on the corner right here where Geisler's used to live. Here's Thompson's house. We're going by there. Armstrong's place. Head on up here to 10th Street, College again, and I'm going to swing on around and put this horse in the barn. I get a seat. Give this thing a little check, see how much film we got left, and if I have some time tomorrow and we get a little more daylight, why, I'll give her another go until I run this thing full. Here we are back at the garden spot of Chadron and the Edwards Mansion right here in the corner of 9th and Main Street. We're around here and park her for the night. Well, Bill, here we go again. By golly, today's Thursday, February 23rd. I didn't quite get all of this tape used up last night, and so I'm going to give her another try here today. We just left old Buck's house, and we're headed, well, you try to figure this out here. See if you can see anything that you recognize here. Got an awful nice house we're going by right here. That's Dr. Hovitz's house. And of course this is the entrance here to Wilson Park. A little sun shining pretty bright here. I hope that doesn't foul up the camera too much. Ought to be a few familiar sights here as we're passing through the park and drive over here by the shelter house. This is where we went occasionally for a few teacher picnics early in the year, back in the old days. Heading on around, heading north now. We're going to be over on the north side of the park. Melting here today. Got a little water on the roads. Still got a little snow left. The building you see there is the back of the hospital. The white area is that new wing that they built on. We'll head on over here and take a trip past the hospital. This is the north side. Physical therapy entrance is right there. And we'll swing on around and catch the front of it here. See the sign there. Of course, across the street from there is Barb Idemiller's house. I think probably you're familiar with that. Another shot of Dr. Hovitz's house. We're heading back on 9th Street now, going back east. We're going to head up Chadron Avenue again. House that you see in the picture right there is on the corner of 9th and Chadron Avenue. That's Jen David's house. Ooh, just about run a stop sign. Better not do that. Heading on up Chadron Avenue now, and we're going to get up here to 7th Street and take a left turn and head on down here towards the state sheds. Some of these places I don't know. I don't know where everybody lives here, but get over here to where we know somebody pretty soon. Okay, now here's a couple places we know about. Place on the right here I just painted last summer. And this place over here is Rapp's Photography. And of course the Bernard's house over there, and the state barns, state sheds right here. My good old friend Harold Noble works over here. This is where he works out of. You know Harold. David was his son, and Leah Noble, I think probably you remember Leah too. Harold's a pretty good old scout. Familiar sight over here. This is the old Plymouth Congregational Church. I think that's kind of defunct. I don't believe anybody's, I don't believe they have a minister there right now. I think that place is kind of closed up. And we're going to take another left here now. Head over to Maple Street. Taking another left, and we're going to head back south, and then we're going to take 6th Street out to Pomida and the S&S area. Okay. We'll be passing by the area here on 6th Street where Don Ross and a lot of other people in the community had their gardens. These are the homes along 6th Street. I don't know exactly who lives in all of these. I think this brown one right here might be Carl Dirks. I think Coach Andrews lived out here in this, maybe this one right here on the end. It's for sale. I don't believe it's sold yet. See the machinery in the background over there? That's the back of Harvey Equipment Company. We're coming up on the B.F. Goodrich store up here, and over here on the left side, the big Pomida building. Okay. There's the S&S store. Straight ahead up here, of course, the Ryan Brothers John Deere outfit. See a few big green machines over there. Heading down Highway 385 now. We're heading towards the junction and the Economy 9 and truck stop up ahead there. And of course the cars over here at Reed's used car lot. We're going to swing west on Highway 20, Bill. And see any cars there you want to buy? Well, pick one out. I'll go out and buy it for you. And one of your old wrestlers, you know, Baker, took over this Solar Motors. You can see a sign up there. It says Baker Chrysler Plymouth. He's got a lot of cars out here and is doing land office business, I guess. There's Chamberlain Chapel. Heading on out on Highway 20 now, going west. There's the Hot Springs Crawford sign. Prairie View Seventh-day Adventist School out there. Out here at the Trader Court where old Nemechek lives. We'll just head out here a little further, and then I'm gonna crank her around and head back to town. Okay. We're gonna pull a U-turn here, so hang on. This might rock you just a little. Okay, there you can see a little panoramic view of the Pine Ridge off there in the background. We're heading back into Chadron now from the west. And coming upon the cemetery here. Alright. Now we'll be able to see the backside of Ryan Brothers over there, and looking across again to S&S. Kind of get you familiar with what's going on here. Okay, we're heading back on up the Highway 20 here, coming past Northwest again. I'm trying to decide in my mind, Bill, where I haven't taken you. I'm going to head straight on up here, take this cutoff here past Ida Miller instead of taking Highway 20 into town. I think we've been in there before. And we're going to head on up, what is this, about 4th Street, I believe. Okay, see some homes here along the side, and the trailer park here on the right side of the street. Swing across here. Now don't mistake this orange pickup here for Old Orange. That's not it. That's Neil Patterson's place. We're heading by right here. Okay, there's the old vet's place. Doc Hawley, I believe, used to own that. I don't think that's operating anymore. Okay, these are the apartment houses on the corner here of 4th and Maple Street. Take you right up here on Pill Hill. Everybody knows this old landmark in Chadron. There's the Roos house over there. You can see his fire equipment truck sitting over there. He sells for that Smeal outfit out of Snyder, Nebraska. This is the back of Dr. Penor's house. We're now here at the courthouse corner, and over on my left here is the Congregational Church, and of course the Masonic Temple building is right here. Little traffic here on Main Street today. Heading by, get on across here without getting run over. Phone company up here on the left. And here's the old Catholic Church coming into view there. They no longer use that. I don't know what's ever going to happen to that building. It's sure a nice big old building, but it's just a little on the defunct side, I guess. I think it takes an awful lot of gas to heat it anymore. It's the Berean Church over here. Mr. Wine-Tear out taking a look at one of his old antique cars. This is Jerry Hoffman's old house over here on the right. I believe that special ed teacher that moved to Torrington still owns that. I can't think of her name though. One of her sons, I believe, Brazzi. I believe that was the name. I think one of her sons may have wrestled for you back when they were here. I don't believe we've been by this street in all my travels here yet. For a while, this is Mrs. Barley's house on the corner now of Cedar Street, and just across the street from the park over here, you can see the Finnegan Park sign there. We'll take a swing up past Mrs. Barley's house here, and then of course the next one is Dr. Thomas's. I don't know who lives in between here, but here's Hank's mansion. We'll just swing around the corner here and give you a full shot of that. There's his old Thunderbird sitting out there, and the fence there where Janelle keeps him penned up. Okay, we're heading on west here. Swing on across. This is George Grosh's house. You know old George out at the restaurant. And there's the Hermine Lowry's house over there, the big greenie. I've heard that he's having some problems keeping his job with the railroad also. I don't know how many of those guys are going to get let out. There's Nick Van Sant's big gray house. I didn't get a very good shot of that. It was too close. That was Dave Sandy's dad just went by in the car there. Let's see, I don't know, I'm not even sure what street that we're on here. This is 7th Street we're crossing. We're on Shelton Street. There's Kreitz's house right there. And I believe Mike Harris lives here on the corner now, next to Neil Daniels. There's Neil's house. And this is Dr. Navratil's place here that we're going by with the white fence. Okay. I believe this house is for sale. I haven't heard that it's ever sold. I can't think of her name either. Her son's a lawyer here in town. You might remember what her name is. Okay, this is Bordeaux Street. And getting close to old Buck's house here. And nowhere else to go. Let me take a left here. Go past Harold Noble's place. Now again, don't get excited. This isn't your orange pickup. That's Harold's state truck. There's the back of Corber's house. He lives here on the corner of King Street and 9th. This is where Doris Cheney lives here on the corner. We're heading up here towards Joe Canaric's house right over here. And of course over here on our left is the Methodist Church. Take a shot across over here, you see the Lutheran Church over there, and of course across the way there, Eastward Elementary School. Now I'm going to show you a little surprise, Bill. This is the statue in front of where the swimming pool used to be. The swimming pool is no longer there. They've torn it down, they've hauled it off, they've filled the hole, and they're going to build a new swimming pool over there somewhere a little bit east of where this old one happened to be. and kind of be at the south end of the old football practice field there. And they're going to pave that west parking lot of Chadron High School, or at least finish blacktopping it, and they're going to use that parking lot for both places. Now we're heading south on Shelton Street, and we're going to take a look at that pile of dirt that I showed you earlier when I was out filming yesterday from the other side. You can now see the pile of dirt and the Armstrong building just showing up over the top of it in the background there. Okay. These are the dorms over here, and there's the high-rise to the left of where we are, to the east of where I'm sitting right here at the corner of Shelton and 10th Street. All right. Traffic thins down here a little. We'll head back west on 10th Street. There's the Student Center building. That'll be torn down as soon as they decide when they're going to get that other one built. I'm coming up here now to the Brooks Hall, and you can see the old Chadron City School sign there in the basement window where the superintendent has his office. I'm going to swing on in past the college here and let you see these buildings. This is swinging in on actually the extension of Bordeaux Street and going up here's old Kreitz Hall over here. The old Rita King, I guess that's the Joseph Sparks building. And we're going to see some students.
What you doing,
Stop
Mr.
and
Edwards?
talk to Casey Danielson. Well, I'm making a stop and talk to Casey Danielson and his mother. He's the new kid that moved into town from Sydney, as you remember, and a brother to Danny Danielson, who's the superintendent's secretary. There's the administration building. Straight ahead, old Edna Work Hall there. I think the girls lived in that hall. It says Women's Hall on the front. I think that the girls all lived there when you were going to school, and you probably know more about the tunnels under there than anybody in town. This is Memorial Hall. And because you can't sing, I don't imagine you got into that building very much. John Getzmeyer's house on the corner there. Now we're headed on back to Buck's house, and I'm gonna call this good. I hope that I've given you another tour of Chadron that might be of interest to you and help you recall some of these places. We're pulling over here east on 9th Street now, and you can see Coach Thompson's old orange sitting there. Again, don't mistake that for your pickup. That's his Jeep sitting there. Garage, and of course Thompson's junk pile out there behind the garage. Here in deepest, darkest Africa, we've run into a couple of caged, wild Tasmanian hoo-hoos, otherwise known as Horse and Brittany. The old Brittany's been with us for a long time and lived in the house most of the time, and still gets back in there quite a bit. Horse came to us as a baby a year ago Christmas, And she too had kind of a happy home in the house until we got our new VCR and with the remote control. And Horse was trying to change stations on the TV one day using the remote control, and she bit a little too hard on it, and so consequently she lost her happy home inside. And so that's when this pen got built out here, and she spent most of her time since chewing up the VCR out here in the backyard. I don't think they're abused too much. Dana has rigged up quite a contraption over there. He has a light in their house for them to keep them warm, and there's another light up there on the fence post in the back you can see to help them see at night in case they want to read outside or something. That's available for them. I'll make my way through the pen here. We're now looking at the garden spot of America, although it's just nothing but a bunch of old dried up vines and bare ground right now. There you can see the light on the fence post that Dana put up there so that the dogs can read the newspapers at night. There's their house over there. It's got hot and cold running water and heat lamps in it. There's the picture of the backside of Buck's house and the old garage over here that's about to fall down. There's the old grill, you know. Get back here, we'll have you over and we'll see if we can't cook something on there that might put a little meat back on your old ribs. I'm about out of things to say. There's Bauer's house in the background over there. That's where Geisler's used to live. I'm about out of things to say. I hope that I've given you something to look at and something to think about, and I really had a lot of fun doing this. I hope that I haven't bored you to death, and get well quick and head yourself on back this way, and we'll just put you in the pickup and haul you around and let you see this in person the next time. It's been fun doing this, Bill. Thanks.